recorder on desk. Turns it on. Okay. So I'll start first. This is Kennedy Cartwright, just here to record a deposition. We have two witnesses. Witnesses, can you state your name?
Oliver Hurst.
Maverick Cerella.
Okay, go ahead.
Yes, this is Connor Reid, state attorney with the district attorney's office. Here with, sir, what's your name?
Stan Phillips.
And you are with what department?
With the San Andreas State Police.
Yes, we have Stan Phillips here with the San Andreas State Police, here to film a deposition in regards to the state of San Andreas versus one Frank Mauser, court docket.
Jesus, that 8-head? Me? Am I 8-head?
2-1.
What?
21-19758. Today's date is December 10th, and it is 9:54 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Detective Phillips, can you please state how long you've been a law enforcement officer?
I've been with the state police since May of this year, so May 2021.
And how long have you been a detective?
Since July of 2021.
Okay. Can you begin by telling us how you began to look into the defendant?
Sure. So I can't remember the exact day. It was at the end of August. We started getting a lot of 911 calls and 31 calls, which is basically a suspicious person. Looks like they're giving something to like locals over at Little Soul Skate Park. When we arrived there, there was an individual on a BMX bike, just kind of consistently going up to locals, giving them brown paper bags, watched him do about 5 of those, and then we ended up going in for an arrest. I ended up going to a little bit of a chase with him as we finally caught him and caught, I think it was over 97 bags of heroin. At that point, as you know, that amount of drugs, we put that in the evidence drop just to look at later. A couple of days later, I decided to look into Mr. Mauser, and found that the last 5 arrests that he had all involved some type of CDS, which selling some type of narcotics in large amounts. Every time it was above 60 bags or more, whatever it may even sell, if it was heroin or marijuana. Once we got all the information, we did some surveillance on Mr. Mauser. A couple days later, when again he was selling inside of the skate park, we got footage of him selling narcotics again to locals. And up to that point, we also, when he went to presumably was going to grab some more, got some residue that was found on the basketball courts. Individual returned again, kept an eye on him again. After he ended up selling the rest of his narcotics again, we followed him just 1 block away to the North Rockford parking garage. We got to the parking garage inside there. He would get off his BMX bike, go into his vehicle, and head back up north, North Rockford Drive. Unfortunately, was not able to find where he was living. Then sat inside the parking garage till return, parked his car again, got back on his BMX bike, going back into the park to sell again. After that, I decided to write up my search and seizure report after getting the subpoena of his home records, which were public knowledge, and got pictures of the homes, his mansion, his house, and also his apartment. At that point, got all the information put into search and seizure, as well as all his arrests to show a pattern of his actions. And clearly, Bolingbrook was not rehabilitating Mr. Mauser. At that point, got all the information, uploaded it to it, and I believe it was Judge York approved the search and seizure.
Okay, thank you, Detective Phillips. And after you got the approval for the search and seizure, what was your next course of action?
It was about a day later. We talked to, at that time, it was the SCARE team, which is basically our SWAT team for the state. We got them to go and get surveillance of the area themselves, of each the house, the mansion, and also the apartment, come up with a plan. We executed it that night. We hit the mansion first, and immediately when we opened up the doors, we were faced first with marijuana plants all throughout the house. It's basically a jungle. From the door entrance all the way up to the bedrooms upstairs, it was completely covered with marijuana. But we cleared the building. We picked up all the potted plants, and then we did our inventory of the rest of the house. It was quite a bit. It took us about 35 minutes to actually finish up that search because there was quite a bit of items inside. I did a re-sweep again, make sure there's nothing else. Got out of the building, locked it up, and we moved on to our next location, which was his house down to the south side. We got to that location again. Scare set up the security. Well, I breached the door again, went inside. We cleared the home, which again at this point there was no narcotics found as far as plants being grown. So we started our search and inventorying of all the items that were found. It took us about 15 minutes to do that house. At that point, we were finished. We head over to the apartment, which was also in the south side, about 2 minutes away. Reached the apartment, went inside, cleared it. There wasn't much found. A couple things here. I can't remember exactly what it was, but there's a few things found. At that point, we cleared out, locked up the doors, brought all of our items to an undisclosed location, did our inventory again, and put up the warrant for his arrest. No, Mr. Mauser's arrest.
While they record that, I'm
Okay. And was that the conclusion of your duties for this case?
At that point, yeah. Once we did all the search and seizure and got everything counted, it was out of our hands because the warrant was up. I believe a day later, it got approved by one of the judges. I don't remember the name of it at the moment. And at that point, it was out of our hands until he was arrested. And then whoever was the arresting officer basically took it from there.
Alrighty. I believe that just about does it. I don't believe I need anything else from you, sir.
All right.
I think that's about it. Kennedy,
yes.
are you?
Okay,
Good.
recording ended.
Yeah, I feel like there's one part I definitely missed to do at the beginning. Am I gonna have to do all that over again?
What'd you miss?
I didn't know. I didn't ask him to swear himself in.
We're just gonna reappear, I think.
What do you mean? Just do that at the end?
I think that you can state, was this your sworn testimony? And
Okay. Was this your sworn testimony, sir? And do you
Yes,
swear
yes.
by it under the threat of perjury?
I do indeed.
Okay. Now I'm recording.
okay.
I knew I forgot that part. You made that so easy for me, Philip. Thank you.
No problem.